Welcome, listeners. You are here with your host, Budgie Pedal Chap. You are also here with your co-host. Basically, he's guaranteed to be on if we are doing a podcast. It's Matt Gwine.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Matt Gwine. We're episode number 29. Where does the time go?
Backwards.
Yeah, I was going to say
over
left.
There somewhere.
Left and like new times on the right, but who knows? Smarter people will have pontificated that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what have you been up to this week, Matt? Let's start the way that we mean to go on, rambling.
So this week, not much playing wise. We were supposed to have a band practice, but our singer has the flu, and we've got a gig on Saturday, and he didn't want to try any singing in case there was a possible chance that we could gig tomorrow night, which the call is being made tomorrow morning. So basically, he's going to wake up and see if he can talk. We've already sorted a backup plan if we can't, and we'll just halve our price. And our bassist has got some DJ equipment, so he'll go down and basically do a DJ set instead, but hopefully he'll be able to sing in the morning. But instead of doing a normal band practice, because we'd blown up our old bass bin, we had the chance to try two bass bins that one of my mates is selling, but they are active bass bins, and we've got a passive top. Sorry, they are passive bass bins. We've got active tops. So we had to work out a way to get the crossover in and some amps in that would only send the power to the bass bins without blowing up the tops. And it took me, the bassist, the drummer, and the other guitarist about 2 hours to get it running properly. But I think we've sorted it, and we haven't made anything else blow up.
I'm sure that's a classic musician joke there, isn't it? How many band members does it take to get a passive and active PA system working? So the answer to that is 3 and 2 hours. Yeah. It was a lot of work, but we managed to get there, and now we've got the venue on Saturday is quite big. It's a town hall, nice
kind of thing, and it's got its own stage but no PA system, which is stupid. It's got stage and lighting but no PA.
That seems horrendously poorly planned.
It is, but so we've got nowhere to put the bass bins on stage. So the bass bins are going to have to sit down on the dance floor.
Yeah. With
the tops on the stage, which will then make the tops below my height but above the punter's height, because the stage is about head height anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just a very oddly set up room, and we're going to have a really weird setup where we're going to be above the tops, which is going to feel weird, but I'm sure we'll work out.
It will work. I believe in you. Just solidarity. And if it doesn't, then it will make a good story.
Aye, it will. And I'll come back and tell you next week.
Indeed, yeah. Next week it'll be, what you been up to, Matt? Oh yeah, we blew up a PA system.
Better bloody not.
And just out of like sheer solidarity with your singer as well, you can probably hear that my voice isn't as delightfully West Midlands as it usually is. I'm channeling a little bit of Barry White at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's what I told Kirk, our singer. He just we'll drop most of our normal stuff, forget all the high stuff, and we'll just do a bit of Barry White, a bit of Marvin Gaye, and it'll all be fine.
Oh yeah, that's wedding music right there, that isn't it? That's music to make babies to. I think I have to start my what I been up to's this week with a little bit of tail between my legs. I got told off this week. Our good friend Moog had a polite. He was doing a little bit of polite ribbing and told me that I shouldn't be shilling my electronic products so much. In my defence, I'm going to put my hands up here and say I've not actually said that I'd be selling the products to anyone. I'm just merely mentioning them. So, Moog, yeah, go fuck yourself. I love you, really, dude. But yes, I will refrain from mentioning my foray into electronics this week. Oh no, I won't. Because this week I've been doing some more soldering. Yay! Sorry,
In your
Moog.
face, Moog.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, just as a kind of as a disclaimer, I'm not selling them to anyone. I'm keeping them all for myself. I'm gonna be like some kind of pedal goblin, just hoarding them all for myself. Yeah, so I did a little bit of soldering this week because I received most of the parts for the one knob fuzz thing that I've got going on. I was missing one component, however, which is down to my own stupid oversight. So yeah, trip to Maplin's this weekend then. But I also did something incredibly stupid in the haste that I was trying to put all of the rest of the components on. I wired an electrolytic capacitor the wrong way.
Nice.
And you'll be able to tell which listeners are complete electronic nerds by the gasps. Most people will be like, what? Whereas you'll get the one or two who go, oh my God, no. So essentially they are directional, which means bad things happen if you wire them the wrong way. And I wired one the wrong way. Unfortunately, however, my soldering skills are so awesome that I found it very difficult to unsolder or desolder. So I used all the correct equipment. I didn't just tug on it. I used a desolder pump, I think they're called, a solder sucker, and with still no avail. And I ended up breaking the component. So I now need two of that component rather than just the one. Yeah. Sorry, Moog. I'm really sorry.
He's not sorry. He's not sorry.
No,
he doesn't care.
I'm not. It's the only thing I do these days. Oh, in fact, it's not the only thing I do because I had a little go on my guitar this week, didn't I? And I found a secret.
No, you didn't. You didn't. You didn't have a go on your guitar. You've not touched it all week, and you didn't do any videos proving me wrong about anything.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that actually. Matt, do you want to?
Oh, is that not what you're going to say? Oh no.
You've just put yourself in it, so you can tell the viewers, the listeners, the whatever we call them, the fretters. Tell them about what I did this week.
So what he did was he took the Thin Lizzy Whiskey in the Jar video and played it at normal speed from YouTube and then played along with it. And it was in the key of G-ish, as we came up with, because it's not in the key of G because it's got an F instead of an F sharp.
Yeah. Well remembered.
Really then, is it not just in the key of C because the three chords in it are G, F and E minor with the C chord? Does that not just make it in C? No,
it's more of a G mixolydian rather than C because it doesn't resolve to C. But let's not get nerdy about this. It's
right. Okay. Well, in my head, it's in C, but that doesn't matter because I play A minor over it when I'm soloing. Like that intro lick from whatever the guy's name is all in A minor.
Whatever the guy's name. Oh my God. Oh.
Well, it's not one of it's the only two guitarists I ever remember are Midge Ewer, who no one ever remembers was in Thin Lizzy.
Yeah, he was in for like a week.
And Gary Moore.
He was in
Gary Moore, and then
Gary Moore was in for 2 weeks. That were broken up by about 3 years or something like that.
Yeah, But yeah, I'm bad at remembering the names of the members of Thin Lizzy. So that intro lick, that's actually one of my favourite like solo guitar pieces.
Yeah,
that isn't in the Metallica version. It's brilliant, but it's all in A minor.
it is. Yeah, it is.
It's just an A minor box.
Yes, however, like the song itself is like G/E minor centric. A lot of the licks are based around that. The guy, by the way, his name is Eric Bell.
Eric Bell. Right, okay, I'll try and remember that.
He was such a good guitarist that Gary Moore didn't absolutely play the shit out of him when he played up on stage with him in like 2006 or something like that. He had so much respect for him that he didn't play rings around him.
Nice.
So Eric Bell, remember the name. Yeah, anyway, so
their version is in G-ish, we'll say.
Yeah.
And then what you did was you slowed down a YouTube video of Metallica doing it to say that they play it in F-ish?
Yeah, F-ish, yes. F-ish. So yeah, Metallica play exactly the same thing with less tact, less subtlety, and they play it in D standard rather than E standard tuning.
No, you just slowed it down so that's what it sounded like. But if you play it from the CD, it's fine.
It's time to admit defeat, Matt. It's time to admit defeat. Yeah, so...
Okay, fine. They detune. The other weird thing about the Metallica version is all the lead stuff is played by James Hetfield and all the rhythm stuff is by Kirk Hammett.
Maybe he was just tired that week or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe he was, but yeah. So you proved me wrong, and I totally accept the fact that you were wrong and I was right.
Hang on. This is like one of those...
Damn it, he's caught it.
Yeah, heads I win, tails you lose kind of situations, isn't it?
Yeah, okay, I was wrong. I admit it.
Cool. Now we only have to get you to admit that about delay, and we're all good.
You'll never get that.
But yes, I did something else this week as well, didn't I? On the same night that I was proving you wrong, I found a secret setting on my guitar amp. Well, it was like an amp and pedal combination, which I'm not about to share here because it was secret. But it had a delay in there somewhere. So this this secret setting basically unlocked the easiest pinch harmonics across the entire of the guitar neck. It meant that I could pretty much hit any note and it was a pinch harmonic. And it was quite a low gain setting as well, which was brilliant. It reminded me of my youth because back when I first started playing guitar, I was reckless. I was a renegade, a maverick, if you will, and I thought that pinch harmonics made up for any kind of taste. I was a bit like Zakk Wylde in that sense, but without the talent. So yeah, I used to use a lot more gain, and I used to put pinch harmonics all over the shop. Then I started to learn how to correctly play guitar, and the pinch harmonics fell by the wayside. But this week I kind of rediscovered the joy of the pinch. So yeah, there's a secret setting, and I urge you to play with your guitar amplifiers because you might find the secret setting on yours too.
Yeah, I just on the joys of pinched harmonics. There's nothing better than playing something really like naff and indie, like I Predict Riot by the Kaiser Chiefs, and whilst you're playing it live, just throwing in a pinched harmonic at the start of the riff every now and again and looking at the confusion on people's faces. It's amazing.
It's like whenever you see Zakk Wylde doing any of the Black Sabbath stuff, or any tour with Ozzy, it's brilliant because it will just be like, oh yeah, it's Crazy Train, and you're just like, whoa. Yeah.
So. Where did that come from? Yeah. Like I say, just if you do play live, just throw a pinched harmonica in every now and again to see if the audience is paying attention, because you'll be able to tell.
Yeah, just the people who look as if you've just slapped them. Huh? Yeah, pinch harmonics, fantastic. And to be honest, you're not the only one who does that. I've done that on a number of occasions. Another trick that I also do as well is like kind of towards the end of a song where it's all kind of everything's a bit looser. I'll try and throw in riffs from other songs, or even better if you throw in nursery rhyme melodies.
I'll have to learn myself some nursery rhymes.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic because you can usually like sneak them under the radar without anyone noticing, apart from your band members.
Who just look at you like you're.
Yeah, they're like they're just kind of, it's half a smile and a half like I hate you look on their face. Brilliant. Yeah, I think this conversation. It's a good indication that there should be a license for music, and I wouldn't get one. My license would be revoked.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure mine would be too. But
hey ho, they let idiots play instruments, and yeah. Anyway, so
the whole point.
We've got some stuff to do this week. I know we've spent almost 20 minutes on not doing that stuff, but. This week is our official Namasode. I've stolen that from somewhere, haven't I? That's someone else's shtick. So last week it was pre-Nam episode, whereas this is the Namasode. I don't think, by the time we're recording this, I don't think Nam's completely done, but there's a lot of stuff being kind of leaked out and a lot of information being spread, so we're going to talk about some of that stuff. First of all, the most exciting innovation in the guitar community: the good people at Yamaha have invented a new instrument. This instrument is called the Venovo, and yes, it is as dirty as it sounds. So I'd urge you to Google it. Venovo. It's exactly how you think it's spelled. It's a new instrument. It's an instrument that crosses all of the things that you love about the recorder.
So nothing.
Yeah. All of the things that you love about the recorder. That time-honoured instrument. And the saxophone, so recorder meets saxophone. They should have called it the recorder phone or the sax corder.
The saxa.
Yeah, indeed, or just Saxy Beast. I think again, your marketing department has failed you this time. But yeah, it looks weird. It looks almost phallic. I said to Matt before we started recording that it looks like if you drew it in the back of a GCSE textbook, you would get in trouble. So yeah, don't do it, kids. Keep your textbooks clean of Venovo. However, because this isn't a stringed instrument and it's definitely not a guitar, it has no place on this podcast. But I'm excited because it's a new instrument, and the product video for it's really, really strange. So I suggest you go watch that. Anyway, on to like real instruments. So our first one, the people at Squier, they can do no wrong in our eyes. Well, that might change. The Squier Contemporary HH Active Strat. So, you know a little bit about this, don't you, Matt? Do you want to recall some of the information that you remember?
All I've done is seen a photo of it and somebody talking about it. So it's black. It's got a white scratch plate.
Yep.
It's got 2 active humbuckers, a Floyd Rose, but no locking nut, as far as I'm aware.
It'll definitely have a locking nut if it's got a Floyd Rose.
I'm pretty sure the photo I saw didn't have a locking nut, but I might be wrong. And if I am wrong, I'm sorry. But if you're putting a Floyd Rose on a guitar and you're not putting a locking nut on there also, you need shooting.
Yeah.
So I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, and it's all like, it's like a matte black kind of thing. And I have no idea what's happening right now.
So you're the video stream is slipping, so you lost my image.
Disappearing.
It's fine.
I did.
Should be fine. So
Yes.
you
So
got
black
you got
H8.
yeah, you got all of that correct. The only thing that you missed out was the reverse headstock.
Oh yeah.
So it looks kind of like the old Showmasters. I did have on my little notes here that it's a childish tremolo system. So I
Which
think
it is.
yeah,
But it's called a Floyd Rose.
it is called a Floyd Rose. Yeah. So childish trem. Yeah. No, brilliant. What are you thinking about it, Matt?
I'm thinking 400 quid for a Squier with active pickups is quite a lot of money. I don't want active pickups. I don't want a Floyd Rose on my Squier.
Yes, I think if you compare it to the other things in the Squier range, so at the 400-ish mark is the classic vibe stuff.
Yeah.
So if you wanted something which was kind of classic vibe quality, but was not vibed around the classics.
Yeah, and maybe that's where it's aimed. But to me, once you go active pickups and Floyd Rose,
You never go
challenging
back.
people like Charvel and Jackson and LTD at that price range, and they've been in that price range for a long time. And
Yeah,
there's a lot of guitars in that price range, and I'm not sure Squier, with their knowledge of classic instruments, are the best people to try and take over an active Floyd Rosey guitar at that price point.
no, I completely agree. I think, to be honest, you are probably getting more for your money with some of those companies like Ibanez, like Charvel and Jackson, ESP as well. They have been treading that path very, very for a very, very long time. And Squier throwing their hat into this is not necessarily a bad thing. However, it's not going to be changing anyone's opinions, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think they probably should have concentrated more on their current market. I mean, like doing things like those Sparkle HHs, the Affinities that they did a couple of years ago. Something that is eye-catching and is a slightly different take on a Stratocaster without going too far away is great. But Jackson is owned by Fender, so really they're trying to compete with themselves, and I don't think Squier is going to take away any market share from Jackson. If you're somebody who wants active pickups and a Floyd Rose, you're not going to think, oh, what Squier got to offer? You're going to think Jackson, Charvel, ESP, Ibanez, even Yamaha RGs.
Yeah, Yamaha's nice. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It deviates a little bit too much from the Squier brand. Although it might be a legitimate instrument, it might even be quite a good one, considering Squier's quality over the past 5 years at least. I think they're facing an uphill struggle with that.
Totally agree.
I mean, that being said, though, I think reverse headstocks are just awesome. So, boom.
Do we know what radius it is yet? Because if it's going to be a standard Squier like 9.5, then it's going to be a bit odd on a guitar like that. I think more like a 12.
Yeah, I think if it is a 9.5, that might set it aside from the other shredders. because
Yeah.
I mean a lot of them have that very modern feel with the flatter fret radiuses and fretboard radiuses. Sorry, so it might have its little corner of the market there.
Yeah.
But I think we've talked for far too much about this Squier and Contemporary HH Active Strat.
Yeah, I think there's some far more exciting things coming out of NAMM.
Oh yeah, definitely. One of which, it's exciting. I don't know if that's the right word to use. Interesting, maybe. Reverend are doing a new thing. It's a guitar called the Air Sonic. So, let's talk about the specs. It's got rail hammer
cheese
pickups.
guitar.
You've ruined the surprise, Matt. You've ruined the surprise. So yeah,
I'm sorry. You just cut that bit out. It's fine.
no, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. So it's essentially it's got it's a guitar quite in keeping with the Reverend style. So I mean they can be a bit Marmite with their styling, but if you like Reverends, you'll feel familiar with this. However, it has F-holes that go the entire way through. They are literally F-holes. They go straight. Yeah, it's a little.
They're also not F-shaped.
Are they not?
No, Reverend have decided that the F-hole should actually be like a straightened out Nike tick. And I don't like that shape anyway, but then when you drill it right the way through the body, I think it's just looks stupid. But that's just my opinion. I happily admit that Reverend guitars for me look stupid. I don't like the way they do their bottom horn cut off. It's just a very square edge and then comes back round. There's no sort of like curve to it, and it's not something for me. But their guitars sound amazing.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether this is going to be the same. Normally when you've got an F-hole and there's a bit of back to it, you've got a chamber there. But if you cut out the back of the chamber as well, what's that going to do to the tonal qualities of it? It'd be interesting to hear, but to me it looks a bit silly.
I saw some videos of it being played on the shop floor at NAMM, and it sounded pretty good. I'm not entirely sure I could detect any of those semi-hollow qualities, but it was on the shop floor at NAMM, so the fact that I could hear anything was a bonus. So it's got rail hammer pickups, which is a standard for your Reverend stuff. It's got a roasted maple neck with a 12-inch radius, so quite a modern feel. And it's also the body is apparently made of Carina, which is notoriously difficult, or it requires an intensive process to machine Carina, because I believe it's poisonous when you breathe in the fumes of Carina.
Right. Okay.
So it needs to be machined in a very specific environment. Yeah. So there's lots of ventilation and breathing apparatus needs to be used. But because of that, this Reverend guitar is coming in at $1,499, and that's in dollars.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a totally different price point to the rest of the Reverend range, isn't it? Everything else is coming in at sort of like £600 to £900.
Sorry, once again, I am dying over here. But this is how important the podcast is to me. I would rather talk about guitar stuff than, survive. So let's hope that I survive long enough to edit it and release it. So yeah, what are your opinions of this Reverend monstrosity? This Reverend guitar.
Honestly, I think it's a bit of a gimmick. The whole we're going to drill all the way through. We're going to have an F hole in the back.
Yeah.
It screams, let's do something different without doing anything. I know it's Carina as well, which is, a not wood that they used in the past, but why not just do one of their normal guitars in Carina?
Yeah.
Like let you see how it feels, rather than also drill a hole in the back of it. For all we know, I've only ever seen the front of the guitar. Maybe that doesn't have a back at all. Maybe it's just totally backless and there's just electronics and holes sitting against your body. For all we know, that's how it is. We've not had any confirmation otherwise.
I am going to assume, and you can take me on record here. Take me on record that I don't think that's how it's going to be. I believe that Reverend finished what they've started, and they will not have an empty back cavity.
And their Railhammer pickups are quite nice. I quite like them. They're a bit different to your standard humbucker, aren't they? But they're still...
Yeah, our good friend Chris has recently put a set of vintage Railhammers into one of his Reverends, I believe.
Yeah, I think he took out some of the standard Railhammers, didn't he? Because they were a bit... higher output.
No, he'd replaced the pickups with some Seymour Duncans, I think.
Right, okay.
Yeah, and went to the vintage Railhammers. I don't know, but what he was playing through them sounded amazing. But that could also be down to his dual amp setup with some various tasty guitar pedals and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll have to ask him. We'll have to get him on and ask him.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of. I think Reverend have brought out some other things. They've brought out some new finishes, but that
I was going to say a lot of it. From what Chris was saying, a lot of it is just new finishes on their current range.
Yeah. They had bought I can't remember what the range was called, but there's a single pickup guitar that's coming in like really weird, vibrant finishes.
Is that the one that they've got a Billy Corgan one of as well? Because I saw that the Billy Corgan signature, they've done a short and full scale single pickup version that's tuned G to G or something.
No,
it's like a 22.5 inch.
It's nothing to do with that one, but that is also another NAMM exclusive. But I feel that they're probably not as interesting to talk about as this Air Sonic was.
Yeah.
And I don't have any information on them, so fuck it. We'll move on to another company who they're gaining a bit of traction now. Music Man. They've been around for a long time, but they seem to be soaking up a lot of the limelight recently. So they've released the Albert Lee HH into the Sterling range. The Albert Lee is a guitar style that you didn't know a great deal about, did you, Matt?
No, I'd never seen one before. You mentioned it in the preamble to this.
Yeah, and I described it as if you imagine a Stratocaster that had been suddenly shocked, and Matt didn't have a clue what I was going on about, and then he googled the picture and went, "Oh, actually, yeah, I kind of get what you want to go on."
Get it.
Yeah, because it's like really stiff, and it's still kind of vaguely Strat shaped ish.
Yeah.
But it's very kind of pointy edges and jagged. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been a fan of the Albert Lee. Albert Lee himself, absolutely fantastic guitarist. But I've never been a fan of his signature. What struck me as really strange, though, Albert Lee, he's a very country gentleman. And a dual humbucker setup is a very strange setup for that.
Do you think it's possibly because they sell more of the humbucker version in the full Music Man range, rather than actually what Albert Lee, particularly in there. I think in the Music Man range, from what I've seen in those images, there's like 10 different versions. You've got like 3 single coil Strat style ones. You've got HSS. You've got HH. So there must be different pickup configs, and maybe they've gone, no, we've got HH ones, and they sell more than anything else.
Yeah, it could very well be. The triple single coil one was the original, I believe, and which makes sense for kind of country playing with that position 2, really quacky and yeah, almost like the telly twang but turned up to 11. So yeah, I mean that's their big announcement for new stuff. I believe there's some slight modifications and some new finishes on other things. In the Sterling range, there seems to be a big push on the affordable range, which is cool. Affordable's always good. Being the budget pedal chap, I'm not gonna go, yeah, but you've got to have the most expensive guitar. it would not be in keeping with my brand. Not in the slightest. So the Sterling stuff, pretty cool. They're looking to expand in the Sterling range. I believe there was mention of what's his name? The guy from Deep Purple.
Richie Blackmore?
No, the modern Deep Purple, not real Deep Purple. Steve Morse. The only
people from Deep Purple I know.
Steve Morse.
Ian Gillan?
I don't think he's got his own signature Sterling Music Man. Not yet, anyway.
Why not?
We'll see. Maybe NAMM 2019, the Ian Gillan Sterling Music Man. Steve Morse, I think they're doing a Sterling version of his. I don't know if they had already, because I don't follow Steve Morse too much. As you can probably tell by the fact that I'd forgotten his name and referred to him as not the real Deep Purple. But yeah. I listened to a podcast where he was on it. No Guitar is Safe. And he seemed like a really cool guy. But it still doesn't make it a case where I want to hear him play Deep Purple tunes.
No.
That was one of the only concerts I ever walked out on. I went to see Deep Purple, and this was like 2005 or something. And I walked out of their concert partway through because it wasn't Deep Purple.
Fair enough. I've only ever walked out of one concert, and that was Ocean Colour Scene.
Oh, no way.
Because their guitar... What's their guitarist called? He tours with the Paul Weller as well.
I don't
Craddock. Know. Steve Craddock, is it?
Sure.
I think it's Steve Craddock. But he was there playing one of their slow acoustic numbers on a 12-string whilst humping it. And he just looked like it's like, I don't mind you having a bit of fun, but when everyone in the crowd is trying to sway along to a nice slow song and you're there humping the ass out of this fucking 12-string acoustic, he was so pissed. Like, he was struggling to stand up. They opened with Riverboat Song and he was out of time. And it was just all downhill from there. I think it was Day We Caught the Train.
Yeah.
I think was the one they were doing when he was humping the back of a 12-string, and I just walked out. Couldn't take it. And then he came back and toured with Paul Weller the following year and made an apology because apparently he'd had a load of abusive tweets from the last time he was in the Isle of Man, which was when he was there with Ocean Colour Scene.
Yeah.
And he apologised and said that he wouldn't be drinking that night because he felt like he needed to show how good he actually is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, as admirable as that is, on the Riverboat Song, I'm sure half of the lead work is in the wrong key.
Oh, it is. I play that one. It's definitely in the wrong key.
So, as much as he apologises for playing pissed, just own it, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
just maybe tone it back.
Yeah. So, Music Man Albert Lee, it's a thing, and it took us on a journey. Is it something we care about? Is it something we've got to go to the shops and want to play?
No.
I think you're right. However, something we might want to go to the shops and go and play. Line 6.
Ooh.
They have released another Helix. The Helix 2. No. The Helix HX effects unit. So, this is essentially like a smaller version of the Helix, which doesn't have any of the amp modelling in it. But all of the effects are there and available. People were kind of hinting that it was going to be a replacement of the M5, M9 and M13 range. But they've said that that's not going to be the case. Because between the M5, I think the M5 is something like 70 odd quid these days, and if you take that and then go to the HX effects unit, that's 540 quid. So quite a considerable jump.
Yep.
But yeah, so all of the goodness of the Helix effects, which were painstakingly modelled. And I believe there's an effects loop in there, so you can add your own drive or your own preamp or whatever. And you can also load impulse responses into it, so it can work as a cab sim. I'm just there's so many applications that I can think for this unit. It's just, it's phenomenal. Oh, I've also got even here that it allows for amp channel switching as well.
Right, okay.
Which is brilliant. So it can work as a channel switcher that also has got inbuilt guitar effects. What are your opinions, Matt? What are you thinking?
I think it's a cool piece of kit. I don't need any amp modelling because I've got an amp and I've got a backup amp.
Yeah.
So I've never really looked at the Helix at all because I'm pretty sure if I plugged one in, I'd probably want one because everybody that I know that's got one says they sound great.
Yeah, totally.
And just looking at this now, they do have effect. In fact, it's got 2 effects loops in it. I'm just looking at the back of one at the moment. And yeah, like they're stereo in and out as well, which appeals to me because I like, when I can, I like going stereo. I like plugging 2 amps in, so having that as well. They've got MIDI controllers for those, both MIDI in and out. So for people like Chris who've got the ES8 and want to be able to control stuff, we'll work with all that stuff as well. And it like the stuff that they had in the M5 and the M9 and the M13 sounded good, but all the stuff in the Helix is processed at a lot higher processing power, so will probably sound better.
Yeah.
And one of these just screens quality. I know it's a lot of money, but if you don't want to shell out on 200 quid for a boutique chorus pedal, 200 quid for a boutique phase, boutique flange, octave pedals, my pedal board is probably about £1,000 worth. Can we
just I'm sure there's a joke somewhere about shelling out for boutique flange.
Okay. Sorry, you didn't want to miss that bit.
No, I absolutely had to mention that one.
Well, I wouldn't be shilling out for any boutique flange, put it that way.
No, I can't afford it.
Far awfully expensive. Yeah, but if we go back to what my actual point was, which is I think my pedal board is about £1,000 worth of gear.
Yeah.
If I say bought one of these and a couple of drive pedals, I think that would do just as good a job. Maybe.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be quite... The chorus sounds won't ever beat the Analog Man chorus that I've got, but apart from that, I'm sure probably my board would sound better with one of these.
Well, you could have a lot of
things.
With this, you could have the drive loop, and you could have the Analog Man chorus loop.
Yeah.
There you go. Job's a good one. What I'm thinking, what price is the Boss MS3 at?
MS3 429, I think.
So it's not a million miles away from that.
Not at all.
It seems to do some of the things, if not a lot of the things that the M3 does do, and some of the things that it doesn't. I know that a complaint about the M3 was the ability to move the loops within the chain, because I think you had to have them grouped together, and I don't know if the HX allows you to split where your loops go in conjunction to...
I don't know. It didn't say in the write-up that I was reading, but...
I'd imagine that that's something that they would have addressed, because the thing that screams out to me from this is that it's kind of nipping at the heels of that market of Boss.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like the idea. I think if they get it right, it'll be fantastic, and I can't see why Line 6 wouldn't get it right. I mean, everybody's raved over the Helix and the Helix LT, so I can't see why this will be any different.
Yeah, it's the Helix for people who don't want a Helix, isn't it?
It is.
Which they're just literally targeting every corner of the market, and it's a great response to the Boss MS3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Looking at the time, I think we should move on. I think we could talk for quite a while about the Line 6 stuff, but yeah, big thumbs up for that. I can't wait to hear more about it. So Victory, the amp manufacturer, the people who make amps what is good, they have come up with quite a few things this time around. So the Duchess V30, I believe it was called, was an amp, which was one of their kind of first models, designed with Guthrie Govan, and they've now updated it. It's the V30 Mark II is called the Countess. It's a 2-channel amp with 3 modes. It replaces the Duchess, so it's taken over. It's £999. So yes, updates. One of the kind of the go-to lunchbox heads. Sounds pretty cool. They're also going big this year. So the VX100 is called the Super Kraken. So before they had the Kraken, which was I don't know the wattage, but it was a small, again, lunchbox style head, which was drive. And they've worked closely with Rabir from the internet. Yeah, well, he's pretty ubiquitous these days, isn't he?
Yeah.
And they're making a 100-watt head version of the Kraken, called the Super Kraken. It has, not only does it have the kind of the driviness of the original Kraken, but it also has a foot switchable clean mode, and that is for $13.99. So, getting pricey, but still kind of expected for the Victory stuff. Yeah, they're known for their quality. And finally, they've done a little teaser video of some preamp pedals. So all of their flagship amps. Sorry, all of their flagship amps in foot switchable preamp pedals. I'm gonna have to take a little drink. My throat is absolutely killing. There we go. You might even be able to pick that up through the microphone. That gulping sound. It's a sexy sound. Yeah, I do apologise. Remember, please, it's free entertainment here. So yeah, that's Victory's lineup. Anything from there that kind of stands out to you, Matt?
Not particularly. Victory's not an amp manufacturer I've ever looked at. To be honest with you, I'd never ever seen one of their heads before Googling it before this cast, and I get that lunchbox heads are a thing now, but they look pretty shit, don't they? It's just like a metal casing with some holes drilled in it. If I'm paying £1,000 for a head, I want it to look posh like a Friedman, not like a fucking piece of metal with some holes drilled in it and a V written on it. Yeah. Look at that guy, he's got a big V. It's just fucking it screams cheap shit. And it may well not be cheap shit. They may sound fantastic, but to me, I'd look at one and go, I don't want to go anywhere near it.
That came out of nowhere.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's a Matt rant. It's to be expected. I can kind of get where you're coming from with the look. They don't look. I mean, the old Marshall amps were like lots of fancy Tolex and piping and golden bits. Looked beautiful. The Friedmans keep in with that style and whatnot. And these are very kind of plain, modern and clinical looking.
Yeah, sterile, horrible.
From what I hear, they are exquisite amplifiers. I mean, the fact that Guthrie Govan is part of the process, or was part of the process with these guys, it has to say something about their quality. Because he's not a man who takes tone lightly. I mean, he's been
but at the same
carry on. Sorry.
At the same time, they've also got a Rob Chapman signature, which cancels that out.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'd need to try some of their stuff because there aren't any places near me that have got them in stock. So I need to try their stuff. But from what I hear in the guitar community, and by the way that their amplifiers hold their value on the used market, they are a real contender.
And I may well be wrong. It just, like I say, they just look sterile and a bit naff. And it's some people might like the really ultra modern look, but to me, it just looks. And you can't even tell that it's a metal case, and it kind of looks like shiny black plastic with some holes drilled in it. And I just don't like the look of that at all.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mick Dogg is screaming, "Stop looking at the fucking thing and try and listen to it." But
I don't know. He's not so picky about amps. I think it's just pedals. If it was a pedal and you'd be going, "Oh, I don't like the look of that," he'd have you. But yeah, so Victory seem to be going bigger this year. There's a company who are taking the complete opposite to that. Matt, do you want to talk about the Marshall Origin series of amps?
I can tell you the brief, tiny little bits of things that I know, which is they're trying to make a 60s voiced head, but they've got a few, haven't they? They've got like a 20-watt head, they've got a 15-watt combo.
Yeah.
And I think there's one or two others as well, is there?
Yeah, it goes up to a 50-watt combo, yeah. But yeah, I think the one that's been touted about is the 20-watt head, because people have been asking for a small lunchbox style head from Marshall pretty much for about a decade now.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. And I think it's the first time they've ever gone anywhere near. I think everything before that's been at least 50 watts for their heads, hasn't it?
Sure. I don't profess to know the ins and outs of Marshall amplifiers. I've been warned against the quality of recent years. However, the 20 watt head, that's the thing that we're going to focus on today, because it is the thing that everyone wants to know about pretty much, and that is getting the attention. So yeah, it's a single channel head. It's got, like you say, classic voicing. With the name Origin, you'd expect that.
Yeah.
They are coming in heads and combos, but yeah, like I say, 20 watt head. They've got switchable wattage, which is it's kind of par for the course with most amplifiers these days.
Yeah.
But it's something that Marshall haven't been doing as much.
I was going to say, I don't think there's many Marshalls out there you can switch that aren't the Marshall code, which the less said about, the better.
Yeah, we won't mention that. I think we're gonna stay positive this week. Stay positive.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 20 watt head. There's a couple of controls on it. There's one that's driven me a little bit batty today, which is the tilt control, which it blends between kind of the normal voice and the high voicing of a Marshall Plexi with your two inputs. So instead of having the two inputs, it's got just the one, and you use this tilt control to blend between them. But I've been ragging on that control, saying it's a presence control.
But it already has a presence control.
Yeah, well, it's got two now, hasn't it? Because
no, one of them is a channel blend and the other one is a presence.
Yeah. It's just me being pedantic, I suppose. But it'll do a similar thing on it. I don't know. What they take it for is the tilt control is really good for if you've got a humbucker equipped with guitar, you'll full tilt it to get the kind of the treble ending, and if you've got single coils, you go back, and you can kind of tailor your sound using that tilt control without having to adjust all the settings. So I suppose that's something. With this amp being a single channel, it's aiming towards kind of either the guitar player who's gonna set a Marshall, like a roaring Marshall tone, and leave it there, or it's looking like it might be a decent pedal platform. And
that's what they tout it as, isn't it? The one thing that I read that said if you want to hear the amp properly, you need to have it in the 20 watt mode, turn it up clean, and then use it as a pedal platform. If you want the Rohr and Marshall tones, it's going to be too loud, so you're going to have to drop it down onto either the 5.5 watt settings.
Yeah. So I mean, that switchable wattage allows for that versatility. It allows for the full up clean tone or the roaring Marshall at any volume, which is it's good. It's the stuff that it needed to have, and the price is looking pretty good as well. So the 20 watt head is something like $459 in pounds, which is not the cheapest lunchbox style head, but I mean, if you compare it to the Victory stuff, $999 for the Countess, which is a 30 watt, I believe. So yeah, it's pricing itself quite nicely.
So I mean, if you look at its direct competitor from Friedman, I know Friedman are all hand wired and stuff, but the Friedman Mini Shirley, which is basically what the Marshall Plexi, but in a 20 watt head, Those are like $12.99. So if you think that that's kind of the sound that it's going for, they're a lot cheaper than their Friedman stuff, which is what a lot of people have gone from Marshall to Friedman, because Friedman do a better Marshall than Marshall do these days.
Yeah, they're clawing back at that market now. And
They are.
our man on the shop floor at NAMM, we've got our good friend Steve, who owns Friedman stuff. He's reported back to us saying that these new Marshalls are sounding good.
Which is definitely high praise from somebody who owns the Mini Shirleys.
Yeah.
If he's saying the Marshall sounds good, then it must do.
Yeah, it's an accolade, isn't it? I mean, that man's got discerning ears for tone.
Yeah, definitely.
We are up at the hour mark. We are just finished with our NAMM coverage for this week. I'm sure there's got to be more. We might spin this out to a 3-week epic of namminess. We have got a question this week, but I think we'll leave that for next. It can wait.
Okie doke.
And considering the amount of editing that I'm going to have to do with all the coughing and the... I'm not going to edit it. I'm just going to leave it in. So, Matt, to save my voice...
Yeah.
Are you going to take the outro this week?
I can take the outro if you like. So if you want to get in touch with the Budget Pedal Chap, you need to go facebook.com/budgetpedalchap, instagram.com/budgetpedaltrap, or search for Budget Pedal Chap on YouTube, or go in the show notes where they'll have the big long link directly to his site. If you're looking for me, you need to go facebook.com/switchiom to see my band. Or if you want to get in touch with any of the hosts that have been on the podcast so far, search for the Fret Talk podcast group on Facebook, where we're all quite active. I think there's a few new posts on there this week, so it's good to see people getting involved. Other than that, give us a review on the podcast catcher of your choice, whether you're iTunes, Acast, or Stitcher. And other than that, I think that's about it, isn't it?
You absolutely nailed it. You did it with like probably about 50-60% less faff than I do. So absolutely brilliant. Your check is in the post.
Sound.
However, I will guarantee it's gonna bounce because I ain't got no money. But the thought's there. So yeah, as Matt said, all of that lovely stuff. Go find us on the internet. Go say hi. Leave some reviews. Just generally share this podcast. We do it for free, and we even do it when we're slightly dying. So share the love. Share the love. So from myself, the Budget Pedal Chap, from your other host, Mr. Matt Quine, this is going to be a goodbye and good night from us. Ta-ta. Tatty bye.
Goodbye and good night.
Yeah.